All right, y'all. This is a video giving you short reviews of all the new books I've recently got. As you can see, it covers basically my entire bed. Well, those two up there, that one and that one, I haven't read yet, but I'm reading that one up there at the top right now for YouTube and streams. If you saw my last stream, you'd know. But yeah. Anyway, let's start at the bottom with The Reader by Berhard Schlink. Let's just say this one is about a dude finding out that when he was 15 years old, he was dating a pedophile. Yeah, that's what that one's about. Recommend, awesome, really good book, loved it. Next we have one of the best novels written in American history, William Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury. This one is about a Southern family after the Civil War falling apart, basically. Like, falling apart because of, like, the slaves being released and all that shit, and it basically tackles with that shit. Really good book, obviously. It's fucking Faulkner. It's gonna be good. Recommend. Amazing. Next, we have one of the best American authors living today, Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men. This one tackles how times have changed and how life is much harder now than it was in the past, you know? Like how complex, I mean. Recommend 100%. Cormac McCarthy is an amazing author. Fucking recommend, absolutely. Next we have The Fall by Albert Camus. I would recommend this one 100% as well. This one is following the life of a man who, this entire book is basically in the form of monologues. It follows this man telling this stranger that he doesn't know, and you're the stranger, about his life and how it fell apart because of shit. Recommend 100%. Albert Camus is an amazing philosopher and fiction writer. I would recommend this to you 100%. Next, we have another Albert Camus book, The Plague. This one is really relevant today because of, obviously, what's going on in the world right now. This is about a plague, obviously, that basically takes over the world. Not the world, I mean. One small little town, one small little colony in Africa. And it basically shows how different people react to that. Next, we have another Albert Camus book, The Stranger. This one tackles how the justice system in a lot of countries is fucked up beyond belief. Because it basically follows a man who witnesses a murder, who gets charged with the murder, who starts basically like spouting out his political beliefs and shit like that, and he basically gets prosecuted for that and gets executed for that. So yeah, recommend 100% if you like that sort of thing. I mean, it's philosophy, so knock yourself out, I guess. This one is Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. Yeah, this one's really good. Everyone knows this one. I don't really have to say anything else. Yeah, amazing critique of capitalism. Capitalism's still better than anything else, so yeah, fuck you leftists. Up here we have Joseph Conrad's The Heart of Darkness. I love this one. Basically tackles how can humans be so good at times, be so loving and caring, but at the exact same time harbor the capacity for evil beyond imagination. That's what this one's about. Really, really good. And it's a classic. So if you like classics, yay. Next we have J.M. Coetzee's Disgrace. I fucking love this one. This one won me over so fast. I would say that you would just read this one. It's about a 50-year-old college professor going through some shitty things. That's all I can really say. Just fucking read it. Yeah, just fucking read it. Next, we have Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. A lot of people, mainly communists and lefties, don't like this book because objectivism sucks and all that. All I have to say to that is you're kind of right, but I just have to say that this book is still good because I got a look into this person, into Miss Rand's philosophy, and it was really interesting to see what she believes. Recommend if you can stomach 1,000 pages of books. Also, there's like a 100 to 200 page speech. So yeah, prepare yourself if you're gonna read this one. Next up is Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. This one is really good. I would recommend it if you like gothic sort of creepiness. About a doomed romance, basically. Fucking love this one. Next up, we have Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This one is about a world where it's basically humans are being genetically engineered in vats, and chemicals are around to basically make sure that people cannot question the government. It's really creepy. I'd recommend this one. Read it if you want. If you like shit like that, just fucking read it if you want, you know? Next up, we have The Conspiracy Against the Human Race by Thomas Legatti. One of my favorite philosophy books, not because I agree with it, but because it's really, really interesting to read and see this dude's brain work. Not only is Legatti an amazing horror author, he is also really great at expressing his philosophy and shit. I would recommend this one. Just be warned, it is really, really dark, and you might not like it if you're in a dark place. Next up is Osamu Dazai, No Longer Human. Fuck you, weebs. Get the fuck off my channel. If you think this is talking about Dazai from Book of Stray Dogs, fuck you, get off the fucking channel, you piece of shit. Anyway, this book follows a character who goes through a life of misery and turmoil, and it basically describes his life from his point of view. And there is something so disturbing about it because it's so clinical and detached, because he's like telling his life story of these horrible things that happen, and it's so detached and clinical. It's just creepy, okay? I really just rate it. Recommend. Notes from Underground by Theodore Doskovsky. Again, get the fuck off my channel, weebs. I don't give a shit about you. You should go to hell. This one is about... It's philosophy. Same as this one over here. And same as this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. This one, however, is more existentialist. And it's really, really interesting. Because it follows a dude who is so vile and shit. I mean, it's really interesting. I can't really describe it correctly, so just read it, you know. Next up, we have Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. I already made a review about this one on my channel, so go watch that. If I had to say anything about it right now, I'd just say fucking read it. It's good. And now we have the two that I have not read yet. Gravity's Rainbow by Thomas Pinchen and A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Now, these two, well, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, I'm reading on my channel right now in stream form. The first part's up right now, so go watch that. I can't really review it yet, obviously, because I haven't read it, but apparently it's a tearjerker, and it's really hard to read, and there's a lot of trigger warnings in this, so if you're gonna, like, watch along and watch me read it, or just read it yourself, look up, like, what's in it first. I don't want to be responsible for you, hurting yourself in any way, so yeah, please do that. Next up, we have Gravity's Rainbow by Thomas Pinchen. Haven't read this yet, obviously, I can't give it a review, but from what I've heard, it's basically a really hard read to read, just because it jumps back and forth between different characters so fucking fast, it's insane. It's the main plot I've gathered is that it's about a dude named Tyrone Slothrop, who was Pavlovian conditioned to be sexually attracted to a V1 rocket. Yes, it takes place during the last months of World War II, basically. Basically, this one, wherever he goes and has sex, you know, where he's like sex escapades, a couple days later, a V1 rocket's gonna hit there. A rocket's just gonna hit there. So yeah, that's what this book is about, from what I've heard. This man's psychically charged magic penis, basically. Yeah, this one, I'm going to read after this one. So if you want to hear it, just stick around until after this one's done on the channel, and you'll be able to hear me read this one. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to do it, though. I will read this one, however, on my channel, because I want to, and I want to, like, you know, have my reaction to what happens in here, whatever happens in here, on video. So yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, that was, many reviews for all of these books, except for those two, obviously. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day, y'all. Come back to the cave sometime. This is Callier signing out. Fuck off.